Hi, Judd here. As you can see, my headlights are kind of faded out, whatever, because the surface, being plastic, is being eaten up by the sun and deteriorated, and this happens to all the cars now. Anyways, I got to polish them up, and I figured the easiest way to do is just take them out, take them inside, and do it in there. I just looked at a video that shows how easy that is. Of course, it's never as easy as it is in the video. So now, according to the video, you take out this bolt, and then you reach way down there, and there's a tab you got to push to release this rubber thing. I don't know. I'm looking like that. Looks like that bolt wants to come out too. This might be totally different from mine. I don't know. He did have a different model number. Okay. Seen anything. That video clearly does not apply to my model. Go check and see if there's any further instruction I can find. First thing today, I came out and added some stuff to my lock here. I made a double washer here to give that a good wide support across there, and then under here I added a bunch of foam spacers. I got a couple of washers that I actually glued foam to, and then just some foam pads to take up the slack in this, so that now when it's in the locked position it's snug, so it won't be rattling up and down and everything. So I've got that snugged up nice. Okay, so it turned out to take the headlights off of my Ford Focus is a little more complicated, and I got to get under the thing and take a bolt out from an awkward position. And I need new seals all around that. As you saw, they're falling apart. And I can't find those locally, so I'm going to have to order them. So I decided to put that whole thing on hold until I'm ready to do that, and came over here and started working on the Honda. Because the Honda's got a leak in the trunk, which you can see I've already been working on. And I just made this piece. This is from the top of a 1 quart or 2 quart pineapple juice can. I took off the top and I bent the tabs, and I've shaped it up here to fit in here to replace the missing upright part here. You see this upright that the rubber goes on, it's all rusted away in here. So first step is to replace that, and then I'll replace the plate and Bondo. So just wanted to get a shot of that. I'm kind of proud of that. By the way, I don't got to worry about setting my clock forward because I never set that one back. Ha! While I'm taking my break here, here's another little tidbit for you. See that back wheel? Look at that. I was sitting up nice and high. And if you recall, earlier pictures of this thing, that was sitting so low, the tire, half the tire, not half the tire, but an inch of the tire at least, was hidden by the fender. And what happened was when Doc was working on the car here, I wanted to look underneath the back, so he jacked up the back, and that has air shocks. So the shock filled up with air. The little pump back there that's supposed to do that isn't working. So now it is filled up with air, and it's back where it should be. Of course, after I drive it a while, if I drive it a while again, it's going to start sinking again because there's a leak in the system that pumps up the air into the air shock. That's why it was down. So the solution is for these cars, because a lot of cars got that, the air shocks in the back, they're supposed to adjust continuously to how much pressure is in there and give you a smoother ride, and they always fail. So the solution is just take them off and put on regular shocks. So if this car gets back on the road, I will do that. But that's where that baby should be sitting. So actually I'm pleased about that. Maybe I will get this thing going again. See, that's one of the problems I'm having with this whole situation, because all three of these cars are possibly only one repair away from being fully functional. If I was a car guy, I'd be all set, but I'm not a car guy, so therein lies the problem. And I'm not going to shell out thousands of dollars to a shop to get it done. Okay, so here is some more of that tin can. I've pounded it out flat, and I now have to cut this to fit in here as a support for the Bondo and some structural support. And the problem is there's a bump here, but the bump happens in the middle of this missing section. So I've got to fudge around there a little bit. But the main thing is to match this curve and keep this inside from leaking. So I've got to cut that curve and then cut the piece to fit in there. So that's what we're going to do now. Not bad for eyeballing it. Just got to tighten up a little bit in here. That's pretty damn good. Got to work this here to get this to settle down a bit. Okay, that's sitting in there pretty good. Okay, as you can see right there, I've got to do a pre-fill on that hole. Put another piece of metal under that. Okay, I used some Gorilla Glue to just try to get to hold that in place. So when I put the Bondo on it, it's in place. But Gorilla Glue has a shelf life, and mine is dead. It was like very syrupy. But I stuck it in there, and we'll see if maybe it'll hold it in place. But it wants 24 hours to cure anyway. So I gotta seal this up, and God sakes, don't touch the stuff. You can see there, it's like pretty gooey and not sticking real good. But, you know, you put some pressure on it, close the lid, see what happens. So I gotta seal it up for the night because it feels like it's gonna rain, and if it rains, this is gonna get wrecked. So I gotta seal this up and then seal the trunk up. Okay, so I got that all sealed up, so no water can get through the trunk lid edges and wreck my in progress thing, and then we'll check that in the future and see what happens. Happy day to you. And just as an aside, does the movie Disney's The Black Hole ring a bell with anyone?